Hello Enigmas, welcome to Julia Music, and this time we're presenting to you something different, but always focus on our favorite topic of classical guitar. I beg you to watch this video until the end, because it is very important what I'm about to share with you. Do you feel discouraged? Do you feel lack of support from the entire world? Do you feel your music is not being appreciated by your friends, your family, or your audience? Do you feel empty inside and are thinking about giving up? Or in the worst scenario, do you feel you want to let go? Classical guitarist, you are not alone. And the reason why I want to bring this message to you is because I feel like this sometimes. To be honest, I feel very discouraged recently. I am not going to go deep into my personal life right now, but I'm not okay. And I know the solution to this issue might not be easy to handle, but I know that the best remedy to let go of these emotions is by speaking out what I think and feel in order to release the stress. As a way to confront these feelings of mine, I am making this video so that I can see it later as a reflection in the mirror of myself. My goal is to give to you some word of motivation in case you feel the same way I do. As a matter of fact, I will continue making these videos regardless of how my personal circumstances might be at the moment. I've been making videos on YouTube for almost 10 years, but it was not until the last 6 months that I have taken it more seriously. Over the years, I've had different channels creating all sorts of content that go from traveling around the world, homemade videos, classical guitar performances, YouTube dramas, channels about multimedia animation, and even a channel about speaking foreign languages. All the aforementioned content, I did it for fun for many years with no lucrative intentions. However, it was not until this year 2020 that I made up my mind and chose to take my classical guitar career more seriously. All of the content I've created, the classical guitar stuff, is what I feel identified the most as someone who wants to entertain people with my art. As you can see, I have a very peculiar image, and at some degree it has caused a little controversy in the classical guitar community for the fact that I'm an anonymous classical guitarist who wears a mask and who has very dark vibes in the music he creates. Even though I am not a famous musician, I enjoy what I do. If some of you wonder why I wear a mask and a hat, it's because I'm interpreting a character, which means I do not only perform music, but also I am doing the job of an actor at the same time to cause an impression in my audience by creating this dark and mysterious atmosphere that surrounds this guy called Delia. Anyway, I would like to be transparent about certain things about my personal life and my dream of becoming a classical guitar performer. I believe that we all have to be honest and never pretend to be something we're not. As a human being, I have many defects, just like you and other people do. I hate to pretend in front of you that I am happy when in reality I am not feeling happy at these last months. So lately, most of my anxiety and emotional changes include personal family issues, my current economic situation caused by this coronavirus pandemic that has affected the entire world. All of these problems of coronavirus and the terrible news out there are driving me nuts. But I want to go on with my music and creating content for you people. I want to seize this moment to meditate and give some motivational words to you as a classical guitarist or loyal followers who enjoy my work. But more important, I want to make this video to help myself to release these dark emotions of mine. You are a person with dreams and goals. There is a possibility that you are working hard to reach those goals, and that is good. But on the other hand, you might not be someone who is taking it so seriously, and you wonder why you are not doing so. So take this as a way to motivate yourself to reach those goals. It's my personal opinion. I could be wrong about my arguments, but I expect it can help you. First of all, convince yourself that you are capable. This is normally something I struggle with most of the time. In theory, I believe it is true, but in practice, I get discouraged to believe things will get better because of how crude and unfair the real world is. No matter the circumstances, we all have to believe in ourselves and work hard. Let's say you want to be a cello performer. The first step you need to take is that you believe you are a cello performer. Look yourself in the mirror and say, I will be the best cello performer there is. You need to brainwash yourself to believe it is true. But that is not enough. You need to work on it to make it happen. You might wake up at 11 a.m. and you practice only 2 hours. You may just become a good cello performer if you do it like that. In contrast, I guarantee that out there is another cello performer who is waking up at 9 a.m. and is practicing 4 hours a day. And we can go even further. That's saying there is even another cello performer who wakes up at 5 a.m. and is practicing 15 hours a day. The fact is that if you really love to play cello and want to be like my yo-yo, you need to understand they got there with tons of effort. To me, talent is an excuse. Talent can make things easier. Obviously, there are people who are more capable than others in certain things, but that means that you will have to work harder than them. People don't get wherever they want with just having talent. And last but not unimportant, you should always look forward. No matter what you do in this life, there is always going to be someone who wants to drag you down. No matter what you do, there will always be someone who will throw shit on you. There will always be people who will take the time to discredit your work, as many people do with me, at some groups of Facebook of classical guitar. Also, there will be others who will tell you you will never achieve your goals. And in the worst scenarios, there will be people who will try to hurt you. Will Smith said once in one of his movies something like this: people who are not capable of reaching their goals will usually tell you that you will never reach your goals either. You're capable of achieving whatever you want. Do not let anyone tell you that you will never be able to get so far. The only person who can put limits to you is yourself. If you want to get to the other side of the world, you will do it. If you want to be the best basketball player, you will do it. If you want to become a physicist and finally decipher the theory of strings, you will do it. And it is hard to say it's easy. Everything that is valuable in this life is hard. But who gives a damn if there will be people who want to drag you down? Who gives a fuck if they do so? You will stand up, clean your clothes, and move on. You are going to have good days and awful days where you want to quit and say, what the fuck am I doing? But you won't give up. You will always go on. When you do something you enjoy, the rest is irrelevant. Do not go to college to study something that will bring you money, because it'll make your parents and your society feel happy about you. Even though there will be people who are not going to support you in what you're doing, once they see you are passionate about what you're doing, they will end up supporting you. If you put your heart and soul in what you're doing, it should be definitely easier. It will definitely work. Once you get old and start dying on the bed, what are you gonna say? I dedicated all of my life doing something I didn't like. Or you will say, I dedicated my life to something I loved. Money comes and goes. but the happiness of doing something you love is priceless. So the question is, what the fuck are you doing right now? Sitting right here in front of a screen, watching stupid ass things on social media. Stand up and start working on your dreams. You can make the world yours if you wish. Just have courage and hold the world in your hands. Live your life as you wish. This is the only life you have. Are you going to waste it on something you hate? Or will you seize it doing something you love? You can do it. And the final point of this motivational video, there is something about artists like us that we are used to hear over and over again. Artists make little money, and there is some truth behind it. Due to social reasons, what does it mean to be an artist? I do not know how to respond to that. I can only think of saying it is just being the way it is, and not something else. The world needs architects, doctors, entrepreneurs, and lawyers. However, it looks like it is unimportant to have musicians, illustrators, actors, or poets. Most of these things are considered extracurricular activities or just hobbies. Why not cherish creativity a little more than alphabetization? Dedicate the time to dance than you do with mathematics. Do you think our world will be the same if people like Leonardo da Vinci, Mozart, Andres Segovia, Mark Twain, Miguel de Cervantes, Tchaikovsky, Michelangelo, Agustin Barrios, Metallica, The Beatles, Elvis Presley, Robert De Niro, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Walt Disney, Charles Chaplin, Chris Cornell, Kurt Cobain, John Davis, Marilyn Manson, Chester Bennington, or Bruce Dickinson never existed? Does anyone think that humans will be the same without the people mentioned before? Will we be the same without artistic works like Hamlet, Harry Potter, Don Quixote, Carmina Burana, Moonlight Sonata, Hungarian Rhapsody, Asturias, El Concierto de Aranjuez, Stairway to Heaven, Master of Puppets, Star Wars, Titanic, Lord of the Rings, The Exorcist, Gladiator, Terminator, Ben-Hur, The Lion King, The Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, The Sixth Chapel, or The Passion of the Christ? These titles are considered sacred, but we shouldn't forget that starving artists who made little money dedicated their lives to the existence of these masterworks. People like them invested years of practice and dedication to these things by doing something outside of the system. All of these people are considered by many a bunch of weirdos. I understand how difficult it is to be stable with a profession, but don't get me wrong. Being an artist takes as much dedication as being a doctor or an engineer. Castings, auditions, rehearsals, writings, practice, patience, dedication, sacrifice, and many more things are necessary. Do not be deceived. Chasing after a dream is a very complex universe. Does anyone really believe that this world will be the same without the people and works mentioned before? And if you can't come to a conclusion, search deep into your heart and see what happens. In these times we're living, we need the beauty of art more than ever before. Now that we are becoming more dehumanized for a fucking piece of paper called money, that the economy is going down, that everything is changing faster and faster, that technology is controlling our lives every single day, that time is counted by office hours. That is easier to check your WhatsApp messages than looking at each other to the eyes. Now, it is a need to have these so-called starving artists who make little money. Thank you very much. Until we meet again.